and allied industry. As a part of WIMA, we have taken a mission to empower women in manufacturing through skilling, through mentoring, through networking, and through the right employability. As a part of this skilling, at WIMA, we believe in having the right skill, which is important and relevant for the industry today. And in the same series, today we have a session which we have kept it on the introduction of value management. Today we have our, but before I introduce our guest, let me talk to you about a brief on what value management is. Me myself as having a associate value management associate, I understand the importance of it and how we implement it as a part of our business. So value management is a structured approach which is used to improve the value of a project, product, or a services. There is a process by analyzing its functions and finding the cost-effective way, an optimized way, but without compromising on the quality or the performance of a project or a product or a service. Naturally, that comes with a creative and a problem solving approach with both the knowledge on the technical and the management and skill side. And as we know that it is widely used across the industry for driving the innovation, efficiency, optimizations, and surely on the savings as well. But as I said, we have let our speakers speak more about this. And let me introduce our expert and distinguished speaker today, Mr. Rajan Nagre. Mr. Rajan is a B mechanical, a certified value specialist who has more than 38 years of industry experience in R&D, in value management, and project leadership. He has led more than 500 projects on the value management projects across various sectors like manufacturing, like automotive, and in government sectors. A very respected trainer and a consultant, Rajan serves in leadership role at the Indian Value Engineering Society, which is Invest, and has received prestigious award from SAVE International and Invest for his impactful work. But before I hand it over to our expert speaker, I also have requests to all our viewers, all the people who are listening to our session. Please put up your questions in the chat, and we will be taking your question and answers at the end of the session. So over to you, Mr. Nagre.
Thanks, Nilamji. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. So good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Nilamji, for the quick introduction. This is the introduction to value management. This technique is also called value methodology, value engineering, value analysis, VAV. So several names are there, and depending on different countries, organization, they use different terminologies. However, the content and methodology remains same. This is overall coverage of this session, right from origin of this technique to indices, why it is used, what are the concepts, applications, examples, and then who are the societies, certification and benefits, and when to apply really, that's more important, and what are the potential areas. This technique was originated in 1940s in General Electric USA, and the person who originated this was Lawrence D. Miles, popularly called Lawrence Miles. And the reason for development of this technique was rather the finding substitutes for the materials or products during the wartime, and that is what led to this. Today, over 40 countries across the globe are using this technique. The uniqueness of this technique are universe. It's absolutely universal. The sky is the limit. Unlimited areas of application results in multiple benefits, enhances teamwork, deliver results in very short time, and invariably results in cost reduction. The objective of any study or project may not be cost reduction, but it does lead to that. There are four pillars of this technique. One is step-by-step approach. Second is focus on function. Third is emphasis on creativity. And fourth is cross-functional teamwork. Now, this is the illustrative or partial list of industry sectors who are using value methodology. It's IT, defense, healthcare, finance, aerospace, engineering, transportation, education, government, CSR, whatnot. I mean, it's the list is unlimited practically. This partial list of user industries, at a glance you can make out who are the users and what is the importance of this technique, why they must be using this another list. Many company, many organization, leading organizations from India have been using this overseas. Now, when we talk of value management or value engineering, let's understand what is value. This is a term used in day-to-day life. What it means is amount of satisfaction derived by customer with respect to the price he has paid for by accomplishing his needs. Customer most often determines what is good value. And remember, he is the boss. Now, value can be economic or perceived. And how do we express value? It's performance divided by cost, or function divided by cost, or benefit divided by cost. And there are different measures, actual measures are also there, which is something like cost divided by worth. And value can be economic or perceived value. Now, important to understand, value is relative. What do you mean by relative? When you look at this picture, the Jain Muni wearing the face mask, that was in from old times they have been doing this. We always used to watch them right from our childhood, and the value changes with user and time. During COVID-19, the corona pandemic, we all were forced to wear the mask. So value of mask change. This is a simple illustration. Now, what is important is, since value is relative and it keeps changing, it is never constant. Every organization, agency, or institute keeps striving to deliver value, else it becomes matter of survival for them. And you know the several examples across industries. Many organizations use value methodology or value management to maintain or keep improving own value and deliver best value to the customer. And you have seen glimpse of the leading organizations who have been doing this consistently. Now, there are reasons for poor value, why poor value exists. There are a couple of reasons, but three reasons I'm listing here: honest, strong beliefs, not my job, and lack of initiative. Those who are from olden time, they must have seen this Fiat Padmini or Premier Padmini, which has vanished, and Maruti took over, and then Padmini has totally vanished from the scene. The recent discussion and couple of news in newspapers about Best bus service, and Best is making loss consistently. Wonder why private transportation and private agencies, how they can make profit. Now, there must be some reasons, and these are some of the reasons which are pretty applicable to many places. Now, what is VE, value engineering, or VM? It's a step-by-step approach by a multidisciplinary team aimed at achieving desired functions of a product, process, service, system, or anything at minimum total cost, giving maximum value to the customer while maintaining performance, quality, reliability, maintainability, and safety. And this is exactly what Neelamji said in the introduction. Now, if you look at this definition, there are a couple of points. Step-by-step approach. It aims at achieving desired functions of anything at minimum total cost, giving maximum value to customer without sacrificing any desirable characteristic. So this is by definition, this is not a cost reduction technique, but it does result in that. And why, I'll explain you in coming slides. Now, one important aspect of this technique is the function language. Deliver desired functions. That's what the definition says. Function is nothing but two-word combination of an active verb and measurable noun to express anything. For any product, why it exists, why do we buy it, why it is sold. Let's take example to quickly understand. This is a helmet. What is the function of helmet? Helmet is used to protect head during travel or fall. That is how we can describe. How does value engineering describe in function language? Protect head. Let's look at this ballpoint pen. We use for writing, we use for preparing sketches, drawings, scribble, caricature, so many areas, so many activities. But how does value engineer look at it? The function is make mark. So anything, any kind of mark, that is the function of this, and the mark could be anything. It could be caricature, it could be sketch, it could be design, whatever it is. Third example, a credit card. You know, I need not explain you. The function of credit card is transfer money. Now, what difference it makes in using this function language rather than using descriptive language? Let's look at make mark. If you are writing or sketching something and the refill goes off and you can no more write, you will find, if you look at make mark, then you will try to find alternate. As common man, you will immediately try to look for another pen to continue your work. But a value engineering will look at the function and make mark if the function what best is available. It could be pencil, it could be crayon, what else. He can immediately continue to work, and this is the difference it makes. The way you look at any problem or product becomes totally different. This language is extremely simple, precise, and impartial, cannot be polluted, create deeper understanding, helps to look at any problem more objectively, helps to analyze impartially and find alternate solution, like the example which I gave just for making mark, and triggers creativity. Cost and worth analysis is another interesting aspect of value engineering. Any measurable entity can be treated as cost and analyzed. It's not only financial terms. It can be anything. It can be horsepower, it can be number of people, number of projects, or whatever it is, area or whatever it is. Now, another interesting point of value engineering is the cost it analyzes as necessary and unnecessary. Now, this is a typical equation for business. Price is equal to cost plus profit, and value engineering deciphers it. The cost price is driven by market or customer price. Cost is driven by employees. And what does value engineering do? It helps you to find unnecessary cost, help to eliminate, and thereby improve the profitability. And function cost worth analysis helps to identify and remove unnecessary cost and improve value. So your profitability goes up. This is how it works. There is another aspect of this technique which is called FAST diagram. FAST stands for function analysis system technique diagram. Now this is a diagram, typical diagram I'm showing for optimization of a ceiling fan. Here this diagram doesn't tell you how the ceiling fan works, but when you have some problem like reduce the cost or optimize cost of any project, any product, this is the way we can analyze, and this clearly gives clues to what exactly need to be done for your product, for your organization to achieve this cost optimization and thereby improve the contribution or profitability. These are very powerful tools, and they can be used for planning, problem solving, and whatnot, infinitely. Let me show you some success stories. This is a procedure simplification project. The documentation part, signatures, now just look at it. It was for taking some advance and closing that from the company. The status before value engineering was 3 documents, 37 times they were handled, 14 signatures involving CEO, CFO, head of department, and so many people, and number of minutes spent totally by all involved was 189. We did the project, and after value engineering, in first go, documents reduced to 2, number of times handled 15, signatures only 6, and number of minutes spent 80. Benefits: 1 document saved, number of times document handled 22 times, number of signatures saved were 8, and 109 minutes of working time of all those involved was saved. Now you can imagine this was totally non-productive time, and this is what is unnecessary cost as it is. So here in this project, the cost was in terms of number of documents, number of signatures, and number of minutes spent on this. This is one simple illustration. This is a very famous Toyota Corolla value engineering project of 1980. The issue was high material cost and production time, and use value engineering to correct them. Now look, if you look at benefits, the vehicle become lighter by 10%, 25% fewer engine parts, faster production, better fuel economy, 15% horsepower increase, and cost less. Now, cost and production time were the problem areas, and it has given benefits in 5 other areas. And this is exactly what I said initially, that it gives multiple benefits, more over and above your project objectives. This is another typical problem. Cost of poor quality. Manufacturing industries invariably face these kind of problems: poor quality, rejection, rework, and all that. And this is one which was taken up. This project was done where 25% was quality rejection, which was brought down to zero. The quality saving was there, but beyond that, there was saving in consumable, cost of rejection, and investment also to correct the problem. This is a very simple packaging case study where EPS buffer was N1 expanded polystyrene, what we call conventionally thermocol, that was used, and it was changed over to paper packaging. The volume reduction of 37%, display quantity increased at the dealer end or seller end 26% in same time, cost saving 45%. Sustainability address. Now you can imagine when at dealer counter the volume goes up, storage volume goes up, he can sell more quantity. So invariably dealer and organization both get benefited. So there are multiple benefits. This is very interesting problem. Healthcare industry, prosthetic leg, and if it is heavy, you can imagine the problem faced by the person. And new prosthetic frame with the metallic frame was designed, which was much lighter weight, easy to carry, and less stressful. Here is another example: bridge construction in 8 days in USA. This is a fantastic example how value engineering works. On Sunday, 22nd June 2003, a major fire destroyed 260 feet long timber and steel trestle bridge in Riverdale, Illinois, USA, and it was used for metro railways. There is a company called Benesh that developed a design build plan through value engineering and executed the construction of the commuter line. On Sunday, 22nd June, this fire broke up. The team, these three people together, Metra, Benesh, and the Kibet Western Company, which was contractor, worked together. On Tuesday, 30th June 2003, the first train rolled out over the completed temporary bridge. Now, friends, can you imagine the kind of impact this value engineering can make? We here in India, it's about several bridge constructions and several things happening and construction projects delaying like anything. In Mumbai at Andheri, there is a bridge which had collapsed, and it took 2 years to restore the half part of it. And this is what value engineering can do if it is used properly. Healthcare industry, oxygen management in COVID-19 pandemic. This is the project which we had done, and Dr. Sonal had taken lead for this. And the agony and the pain which all of us have gone through during this COVID-19. This project resulted in 20% reduction in cost for oxygen supply, process optimize for efficient use, solutions for fixing leakages, reduction in turnaround time, improvement in patient satisfaction, disaster mitigation management equipment. This is what the founder director Dr. Praveen Gatsing said. This project was executed in extremely challenging situations. Solutions provided are critical for saving lives. The value methodology project will be helpful for healthcare industry beyond COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. And this this project was awarded by Save International and Invest also. We worked on a government project, livelihood and women empowerment. This was under NULM, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission, which was launched by central government. And under this, 10 lakh grant was given to City Livelihood Center formation, CLC formation. And the process, this was for self-help groups. The group of women, let's say 8, 10, they come together and set up some business kind of thing, and government is creating structure for them. And NULM had big challenge in formation of these centers. In 7 years time, they could form only 44 CLCs, and when we worked on this project, in 45 days, 205 CLCs were approved, and that was amazing task. an amazing achievement also. 87,000 SSG were benefited, which covered almost 4 million people. So it increased profitability, optimized processes, improved productivity, reduced HR requirements, unnecessary time waste by senior level officers of government that was reduced. So many people involvement which was happening unnecessarily. And the most interesting part is without disturbing government framework, this was achieved. Now let's look at this. Dr. Kiran Kulkarni, who was commissioner under whom this was done, he said that the results achieved through application of value methodology were remarkable. It has immense potential for value creation in social sector and large-scale government projects. We look forward to engage with value practitioners for such opportunity. This project was also rewarded by Save International, the Gordon Frank Award for Innovative Project in Government, and then Mutaya Kasi Award by Invest. Now, coming to educational scenario, this slide shows very interesting data. We have over 8,704 engineering colleges in India, and this may not be covering private college which may not be listed properly. I have no idea, but this is what the official list is. Number of BTech engineering graduated 15 lakh in year 2024-25, and southern states account for 40% of above. There are 5,900 MBA colleges in India, approximately 3 lakh MBA and PGDM graduates every year. Now, this is very interesting data. Thousands of colleges, now what is the correct scenario? Thousands of colleges offer value engineering as a compulsory subject or as an elective. None of the faculties are certified in value engineering. Proper value methodology is not taught to students because coverage is not very clear because the faculties themselves are not trained and certified. Focus is more on design changes and cost reduction or some improvement, some kind of improvements. Big potential for existing and retired industry professionals, college faculties, and interested individuals to get certified, get licensed, and start teaching college students. Indian Value Engineering Society, I am part of that, and it is aiming at year 2030, wherein by that time at least all engineers passing out should be certified in value methodology or value management, and this is what we are aiming at. Please look at this and think over seriously. Now, when it comes to what exactly is training and certification and why it is helpful, because this PM certification helps develop analytical skill which is far beyond our conventional, more over and above our conventional skills. Develop problem solving skill, develop IPR skill, develop team working, improve personal competency. For your information, I myself have used this technique and applied for patents. So improve personal competency. And then what are the benefits of doing all this? Number one, place preference during placement. Obviously, you can look at the students and if they are preferred because of value engineering, nothing like that. Better career opportunities and growth. Technique, because it helps throughout your career path. And beyond that, technique can be used for any application, anytime and anywhere globally. At any age, I can say. It is useful in professional, social, and personal life. And I have proven this and I have demonstrated this. Now, let's look at certification programs. Invest has launched these first three programs in December 2020. First is Student Value Practitioner, abbreviated as SVP. It is 20 hours classroom and some projects. Exam fees are peanuts, practically nothing. They are just 1,000 rupees as Invest has kept it for students. SVA is Senior Value Analyst. This is mainly designed to train the trainers who will eventually start teaching the students. 24 hours classroom plus some projects, and exam fees is hardly 5,500. And PVA, Professional Value Analyst, is 32 hours with live projects, and exam fees is 7,000. Now, exam fees are likely to increase from June this year. And then we are going to launch CVA certified value analysis, which will be highest qualification in value engineering from India. And all PVAs will be entitled and eligible provided they do some VMT 5 level course and then appear for the exam after submitting couple of documents and completing the requirements. Now, for more details about these programs, you can visit Invest website www.invest-in.org. Now, benefits of value methodology or value management training and studies. Number one is information based decision making. In day to day life, you can see several problems, and we go on hearsay and whatever information we get with social media and post and gossip and so many things. So you will never get carried away with all this. Absolutely objective information based decision making. Develop skill of root cause analysis, and easily you can start doing that once you learn this technique, get certified. Can easily identify unnecessary activities and functions and cost. That helps in day to day life also. Improve personal and organization value. Crisp and clear communication, minimize or help resolve conflicts, improves team working and togetherness, enhance creativity and help utilize your knowledge, skill and experience, and that is irrespective of any age. Now, the question obviously in your mind that when and where do you apply this? The best time to apply this technique is at concept stage or early stage of any project or product, because at that time, at concept stage, there are no investment. As you progress further, design, detailing, construction, and then if you study them and carry out some changes, the changes become more expensive, and then the returns on your efforts become little less. And this is exactly what this curve shows. It doesn't mean that on existing products you cannot apply. Yes, we can apply, because at every stage this technique provides the opportunity. Now, where it can be applied? Products, projects, service, systems, procedures, logistics, finance, taxation, healthcare, social sector, government, CSR, and the last symbol is infinity. So you can imagine anything and there it works. Now, this technique is not a panacea, but it has proven itself that it works in every situation and in every problem area. Now, what are the opportunities for us, all of us, or many of you? Let's say some technical, non-technical problem solving. It may be product, process, manufacturing, industry, non-manufacturing. So many areas have this kind of problems. Simplification of procedures. I have shown you one example. I had done one project at doctor's clinic. At doctor's clinic, when you walk in and when you walk out, it is called patient turnaround time. And in one of the doctor's clinic, this patient average time was 1.5 hours. You can imagine, friends, the kind of agony the pregnant ladies or children or old people who have or somebody suffering. And we did the project. Doctor and his assistants took a lot of interest, and we brought down this turnaround time from 1.5 hours average to average 20 minutes. This is an implemented case study. So you can understand simplification of procedural matters. Strategic planning, timely execution of government projects at lesser cost. I have shown you example of bridge construction in 8 days, just 8 days in US. Road accidents are high potential areas. Any accident, when it happens, one person losing life may not be critical to all who are observers or outside that family, but for that family it can create a different scenario and nightmare. So road accidents extremely important, and we can certainly apply this. Crime prevention, huge cyber crimes are happening, and if you guys take interest, we can work on some project which will help crime prevention, cyber crime particularly, and others also. Career planning, it can be useful. Successful married life, this technique can also work. There's CSR and so many areas, you can imagine and list down. I'm there to help you. Now, when we talk about CSR, let me give this example. the example of the what is the scenario in India? There are 24,792 companies, 17,130 agencies, and 51,966 projects. 1.53 lakh crore total spending from for year 14 to 22. Total spending 22 to 23 is 20, almost 30,000 crore. And for out of this, for education, it has been almost 12,000. Now, such a big thing which is happening, huge funding is there, mostly managed by NGOs, which is not efficient, so efficient. And there, this technique, if we apply, then what it can result in, the benefits, the savings which occur can be redeployed for additional projects. And you can imagine the magnitude. Now, typical portfolios are school, college education, early childhood care, and education, primary health care, community health, livelihood, skill development, water supply, sanitation, gender equality. So many areas are there. And just a few minutes ago, I mentioned about education, the certification program for students. Even this CSR fund also can be used at some places where it can help certification programs. Think over that. Okay. Yes, I have some time. So I think I have run too fast, but let's understand the journey for a long road begins with small step. If you start learning, getting certification, and then applying this, it will help everybody, yourself, the society at large. Thank you for your patient listening. I'm sorry if I have run too fast, but let me hand over to Poonamji if you have any questions, and then I think there will be one more speaker on this.
Thank you, Rajanji. I think this was really great. I also had my knowledge on the value engineering brushed up. We are also being joined by Mr. Naveen. Uh, Naveen requests you to switch on your camera, but before I hand it over to Naveen, let me introduce Naveen as well. So Naveen is a BE Electrical and a BMA. He is the chairman of the Invest Western Zonal Council with more than 30 years of experience, including leadership roles at Schneider Electric and L&T. He has driven digital transformation, large-scale mergers, and value culture initiatives. As a former president of Invest, he has played a key role in advancing innovation and value methodology across the organizations. So, maybe what I request, Rajan sir, if you want Naveen to focus on particular this thing, and also Mr. Rajan, request you to kindly close your screen.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, just one sec.
Kindly stop the sharing of the screen.
Yeah, I think I have stopped the sharing.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we already have Naveen on the screen.
Can you
So,
guys
Yeah.
Naveen, any
see
particular
me?
point you wanted to highlight? Yes, your voice is breaking, Naveen. Mr. Rajan, you can switch on the camera in case if we are not accessible or Naveen is not able to hear, we can take up the questions that we have received as a part of the registration. Hello, Mr. Rajan, can you hear me? Mr. Rajan, can you hear me? Audience seems there is a technical glitch with our guest. We will just try to have a fix of this. In the meantime, if you have any question that you wanted to put in, request you to put it into the chat and we will take these questions. Hello, Mr. Rajan, can you hear me? We are not able to hear you, Mr. Rajan, if you are there.
Hello, ma'am. Yes, I'm trying to. I have switched off my camera.
No, please switch on your camera. We will take up the question. Seems Mr.
Yeah.
Naveen has some issue with his camera and his connectivity. Kindly switch on your
Okay.
camera.
Yes.
So let me take the questions. In the meantime, by the time Mr. Naveen can fix up his internet connections. So these are few of the questions that we have received as a part of the registrations. And that's the part that you have already explored. One, Mr. Naveen joined, we can take a few more aspects of value management with him. So, one question that has come up that, most of the time we understand that value management means the cost cutting or cost saving. And I would like you to kindly help audience understand how cost cutting and I mean cost cutting is a part of it or cost saving, but then how they should differentiate between a cost saving project as well versus a value management project. How is both these things should be taken it up?
You see, any project now, most of the projects which we come across are for cost reduction. Now, whether it is cost reduction or non-cost reduction or any planning problem solving, what we do or with this technique, we analyze the functions and do the worth analysis of all those functions. So, what is the cost and what is the worth? And this difference helps us to find the avenues where unnecessary cost lies, and then removal of that with creative solutions lead to cost reduction. Have I answered the question?
Yes, surely. Thank you. And because I have also seen that when people says about the value management project, mostly people see it is a cost reduction project. That's the
Yeah,
kind of
that is why when I showed the definition, it says deliver the functions desired by customer at minimum total cost. And I said that by definition it is not reduce cost. Deliver functions at minimum total cost
yes.
without sacrificing desirable characteristics.
Yes, there is also one question which has come, Mr. Rajan, that we do learn about lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, or design thinking. How do you think that the value management methodologies integrate with these technologies or these methodologies as well? If you have to explain on to that.
Okay, this is very interesting and important question. Value management or value engineering technique is normally used along with those techniques. Let's say for implementation of lean, for implementation of Six Sigma or any other, value engineering can be used and it has been used. We have done, I have some examples of project. I of course cannot show here, but this technique can be very efficiently used to deploy those techniques, not vice versa.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Surely. And
Now,
yeah.
one second, there is another interesting point. You see, this lean technique, it means elimination of or removal of unnecessary movements and those things, Let's say value stream mapping is required and then you move to implementation of lean. For value engineering, these are information and then we work differently with function analysis. So
Surely.
this technique can be used here. Yeah.
Okay. There is one more question which has come, which is very interesting. With all this AI and digital tool coming up, and
Hmm.
everybody is moving it up. How do you think, this digital tool or AI can support this VM process further, uh, to enhance the impact of it?
Okay. This is very time pertinent question, I can say, because it's a era of AI which is catching up like anything. And obviously, all our participants must have this question at the back of their mind. Now, what is interesting is AI has been used along with value engineering to reduce the time spent on studies or certain activities. Now, where AI can help. gathering information or consolidating them and doing certain part of value engineering. However, what is important, definitely AI will help, but what is important is this is artificial intelligence and which is based on available information. Okay, this is very important. AI is based on available information from which it generates the neural network and all that. Now, value engineering also works on natural intelligence. Now, when we come across projects which have no background information or which have never been done earlier, what do you do? AI will not work in those situations because it doesn't have available information, and here our natural intelligence work. So what I say is the combination of NI and AI will work much better in going ahead. The time coming. Okay.
So natural intelligence and artificial intelligence has to have a combination of both of it.
Yes. Yes.
Very rightly said. And maybe in the future, the AI can be learned as it is an LLM to think on how the functionality of a particular product or a service can be determined. And
There are some developments happening. Some software also will come up, maybe in pipeline. But natural intelligence still supersedes everything. And
surely,
the very base is that
mhm,
uh, non-availability of prior experience or information. And I can tell you, Nilamji,
mhm,
that I have handled the projects which had absolutely no background information. They were highly challenging. The CLC formation process or even oxygen management, oxygen supply management. We were working during night time. 8 people from different places after their office hours voluntarily participated. We had no idea what the hospital is, what the only thing known was oxygen which we inhale. The rest was all dark for us, black box, and still we worked on that project and delivered amazing results. So the technique has immense power if it is learned properly, and this is very important. Why we are laying focus on students and professionals or individuals who could get certified and start teaching students, because India, make in India, and they will have much brighter future and opportunities than what they are existing as of now.
very rightly said. In fact, I really like the data that you presented that we have so many colleges and in
Exactly.
if it can be made a mandatory subject. And I
Yeah.
believe with the value management and understanding, it changes the perspective. How do you see or perceive a project or a product? From the going from a basic functionality to optimizing the that part.
Exactly.
Uh, yes, and I have also an interesting question somebody is asking is that how can we is offered in higher education in India and otherwise? I mean, I know you have showed a slide, but if you'd like to again reiterate on that part.
Come again, the higher education you said.
I mean, is there a course, a formal course into the in for the higher education currently you are aware in any particular institution? Like you have told about Invest, but any other institutions or universities offering in India or abroad?
There are so many colleges. Let's say Vishweshwaraya Technology University or IITs, Beats, Pilani, and so many colleges are offering this course as an elective or compulsory subject. Big numbers are there. Unfortunately, the faculties themselves are not trained. We had introduced this student value practitioner course at Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Andheri, Mumbai, and I think 34 students passed this course. Okay.
Okay.
Unfortunately, during Corona, it happened. So initially, we conducted the classes in person and then online, and then because the director and the HODs there were changes, nobody took interest later on. This is how it get disconnected.
Sure.
So then colleges or professors, they have their own priorities. At one of the leading engineering colleges, when we visited, the head of department said that I'm retiring next year, so I don't want to anything additional on my head. Now, these are the kind of scenarios we have.
I believe the importance and the impact that it can create, it requires more awareness for it. And exactly that is the purpose that we wanted to have this session, conducted here so that our audience, our network people, they understand what it is, what is the importance. And I really like the way you have explained that how it is, what are the some of the avenues, how can people learn more about it. You also showed one very important aspect, and in fact, it was learning for me as well that value engineering can also be, integrated into the CSR project. And in fact, somebody is asking in our audience that how can we, I mean, is there any V's in CSR certification available in India? Is there, if somebody wants to do value engineering in CSR, and if there is some certification or some courses available?
Okay. There is no certification in CSR value engineering because value engineering is universal. So we don't connect it with any particular trade or profession or segment. It's absolutely universal. Now the courses which I have shown are the only courses which are available, and they are more than enough to work on the projects because we help during the training also, and after training we can take up the project and we do the hand holding so that people get that experience. And once we actually apply on anything, then that experience keeps telling you how to use this technique, and more the number of projects, better you get the proficiency.
Sure.
Now, what is very interesting is another interesting point, the slides which I have shown of the data of college students and all that. Now, you can imagine there are many working professionals, so particularly, let's say, ladies, women, after childbirth and all that, they have some gaps or they cannot spend whole time. There are many cases which we have come across that because they have to get engaged with family, their all knowledge, education is not utilized. Now, anybody, any category can get trained. It is 3 or 4 days training only. They can easily spend, and we can organize training on even on the weekends or on holidays and all that, for convenience of participants. And they can teach the college students. This is only 20 hours, so it may be 4 sessions, 5 sessions, and spend some time. So earning is one part, but disseminating knowledge and making use of our own live, real world experience is extremely important for college students, and they will really get benefited. It's a
Thank you. Thank
huge knowledge and skill set available across, whether they are male, female, whatever age group, retired, professionals, whosoever, but they can still start teaching the college students. And you have seen the data, and this is not the complete data you can imagine, all over
thank you.
country. So
Thank
this
you,
will be
Rajan.
very interesting.
Yes. So thank you for highlighting, especially that how it can be a career opportunity for the women who would like to come back, join the
Exactly.
workforce. And
Exactly. And what is the qualification required, Nilamji? The only qualification required to learn this technique is one must know the English language, because right now it is only in English language, and it is the basic English, verb and noun, what we learnt in college days. The way it works makes the wonders, and learning that needs experts. So
sure.
expert trainers are required to learn that, and it is extremely easy. The programs which I conduct are all joyous and people enjoy like anything. You can see some feedbacks also. So it is never stressful. They are not lectures, they are all interactive sessions. So they're very interesting sessions happen.
Certainly. Thank you. We have few more questions, Rajanji. One question is coming from our audience seeker is like, is value engineering applicable for the small finance businesses as well? He is looking whether, we talked about CSR business, we talked about manufacturing, we talked about production. He's asking whether it is also applicable for finance businesses.
Yes, it is. It is. There are no limits. You can talk to them. We can set up the meetings. We can, let's understand what is that they are interested in, but it can be applied there. And when we were talking of CSR, let me tell you that Dr. Sonal Shivgunde, she had initiated this project, and she is expert in CSR segment. and she has created some documentation how value engineering can specifically be applied to CSR. So in those kind of programs, we cover those areas. So for CSR, there will be specific guidelines. So understanding the difficulties and how to tackle that. In fact, she has been driving one project on agricultural front now. That's very interesting project. So anywhere, and we have the expert available,
Okay.
social sector and CSR field. She's the expert.
So I think it is more about the process and the methodology, and it is not restricted to any particular sector or industry. It can be
Exactly.
implemented in any industry, any sector.
Perfect.
That's just what I could make it out. So surely, Sekar, yes, it is applicable for finance business as well. I have few more questions, Rajanji. We have 10 more minutes, and I want those questions also, which has come as a part of registration,
Yes.
to answer you. So one of our audiences asked that nowadays there's a lot of ESG and sustainability part that we talk about,
Yeah.
and he's asking. How can value management play in achieving these goals, sustainability goals in today's business landscape?
Very interesting. Uh, okay. When I showed you something like fast diagram, I myself have developed some fast diagrams which have integrated sustainability aspects in that. So right up front, when you do the projects, the risk management, the sustainability, so many angles can be covered in that. Now, this is very short time, this is just introduction. When we conduct the full-fledged training program, I cover those areas. Now, depending on participants, in fact, I know that for sure you are going to organize. So you can gather the interested ones who are more interested in CSR, those who are more interested in sustainability and all that. So specific areas can be covered, and I leave it to you anyway. But yes, that can be addressed.
Sure. Thank you. One last question, maybe I'll ask that one of our audience is also asking if they have to measure the success or return on investment of a value management initiative, what exactly, how do you measure that? I know one part could be cost, but how do you measure? I mean, should you put
Okay.
up measuring parameters for that?
There are three, 4 points in this. Number one is, as far as economics is concerned, what is the return on investment? It is proven through the projects what we have done and so many projects what we have come across, that return on investment could be 3 times to 1 lakh times. The training fees is minuscule compared to the volume of benefits what we get. They are in hundreds of crores. It can be thousands of crores. Now that is one part. As far as economics is concerned, it entirely depends on sorry, what kind of products and at what stage they are. Okay, that's one thing. Now when it is not in terms of money directly. What it means, the kind of issues what are there and how they are handled, and the benefit organization gets, that is the return on investment. Now number of reduction in number of problems. So let's say in one case, uh, the project was done where company was losing orders. It's one of the leading MNC, and the product cost itself was 9 crore rupees. One product cost for 2 successive years they were losing the business because they were not competitive in market, and they called me for value engineering training. The 4 days training was extended by 2 more days to continue working on the project because the target was only 50% cost reduction. I say only, huh? Now you can imagine 9 crore selling price. What could be the cost, and 50% of that cost designed by Europeans, manufactured in India. This was the tough challenge, 2 years business loss. Now we worked on that project, and we could identify potential areas how 50% cost reduction could be achieved. Now you can imagine what is the return on investment. What was my cost of training, and what is the business loss which could be recovered? How many hundreds or thousands of crores? This is what, these are the equations, some equations to get the idea.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this use case. I believe this will help audience to understand the impact that value engineering and value methodologies can bring on. And that is the reason it is very, very important to understand how it works, understanding the processes, And as it is said and already told by our expert speaker, that it is not bounded by any industry. It is more on the process and methodologies that we learn in. There is a good career opportunity for students, for the professionals, for the women, and I believe for everybody in the industry. And in
Exactly.
fact, if I have to say, I said that everyone, whether they are at leadership role or they are at just starting the career, they must learn about this, because I learned and I realized that it works wonders the way you think, from the starting, whether you are a designer, a manufacturing person, a quality person, or the head of the organization. I think one should and must learn this methodologies.
Absolutely right. You said it. And my personal experience is I could handle totally unknown areas and big challenges just because of this technique. And that's the reason why I have passion for this technique.
Thank you.
It
Thank you, Rajan.
becomes totally different. Yes.
Surely. With this, we will end our conversation today. And
Yes.
as I said, if you have an interest, if anybody who's watching want to have more, information about it or about the training, we have shared the contacts. You can also write to us, and we will have Mr. Rajan speak to you as well. So thank you to all our viewers. If you still have any question, you can always put it in the chat, and our team will respond onto that, or we will pass it to Mr. Rajan, to answer on those questions too later on. So thank you again, Mr. Rajan. We will be with this. We will be closing our live session. Thanks again, audience as well.
Let me thank Nilamji for taking a lot of interest in organizing this. And I know you were chasing me for a time slot, and finally we could make it. And my sincere thanks to all participants who have spent their time in understanding that. And please do not hesitate to contact Nilamji or any of us, because this technique really works wonder in life. That much I can tell you. That's the only message I can give you. Go for certification, learn this technique and make use of it, whether it is personal life, professional life, or social life. Everywhere you can use this. Thank you. Thanks all of you. And let me thank Dr. Sonal, who has been taking a lot of pain in coordination and organizing this, supporting us. Thank you, Dr. Sonal, also, and thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank
Wish you